Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather around the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show.
This is Tech for Senior Live. I'm Ron Brown, and I'll be your host today. It is September the 19th, a gorgeous fall day, and a first for Tech for Senior Live. We have a live studio audience today. This is the first for us. Welcome to our first attendee, Mike Ungerman. Welcome to the show. Our first today, brand new studio audience. This is pretty cool. Anyway, what did you say? What did you say there? It is, of course, the FDA approved the new AirPods for a hearing aid. Yes, this and all the tech news of the week. It's going to be a fun hour, and we're going to have lots of fun and lots of great news articles that we're going to go over. But you're probably wondering who we are. Well, of course, we're a group of seniors who like to talk and talk and talk. But we also have a show on Monday. And if you haven't joined us, please come by. I'll just put our, let's have a look here. We'll put our, this is our website, and you can find all about our Monday show on our website. And I know that because the website's getting a lot of hits lately, so there is a lot of interest. And we have a lot of new people coming to our Monday show. So it is a Zoom meeting, and you're most welcome to come, and we have a lot of fun. It's more of a structured program, and we have a variety of speakers. All the guests today have been speakers or are speakers on our Monday show. So that's so we look forward to that, and we can certainly we can see, and of course, this is a regular show. This is broadcast out to YouTube and Facebook, and this is broadcast through StreamYard. And this show is where we go through all the tech news of the week. Now, the one difference between our Monday show and this show is we can't see you. On Monday, we actually see you and can talk to you, but on this show, we have no idea who's out there. We could just be talking to ourselves, which is fine. We'll have great talk for the next hour. But if you put in the comments who you are, where you're from, then we can, of course, go over and talk about, we'll acknowledge those, and we can answer any questions that you have. So put something in the chat if you can, and that'll give us some, let us know that you're out there. So let me introduce everybody today. And of course, I know we'll first introduce, our good friend, Huey Poplak, who actually isn't home. He's, Huey, do you want to explain where you are?
I'm in Mike Ungerman's home studio in Oviedo, Florida, which is 120 miles from me. It's just on the northwest side of Orlando, northeast side of Orlando. And of course, I live in Bradenton, way over on the coast. And I'm sitting here at Mike's in Mike's studio, so I have a different background, and I also have Mike in the background.
There you go. Welcome to the show, Mike. Mike, of course, has been on the show before, and Mike is a regular contributor to our Monday show. So Mike is well known to everybody. So anyway, welcome to the show again, Mike.
Thank you.
If you have any comments there, if you don't agree with Huey or something, just butt in and we'll listen to you, and it should be fun time.
I just hope if he disagrees with me, he doesn't slap me in the back of the head.
Yeah, we've been watching NCIS, and Gibbs always, gives him a little whack on the back of the head, and I thought, that's not very appropriate in today's work environment. Anyway, it's interesting. And Bob Gusticia from Los Lunas, New Mexico. Welcome, Bob.
Good morning. I'm still trying to figure out Mondays and Thursdays are our 2 days. Those are also the days my wife leaves this house to go bowling. Now, did she start bowling because of around?
Well, there you go. My wife goes to church on Thursday, so to practice for the choir, and I'm not sure if she does that just because I'm busy or what. I don't know either. Anyway, and of course, Bill James from Oklahoma City, where they're building the largest and tallest building in the world, and Bill's going to be able to see it right from his window in his front room.
That is a true statement. I hope I live to the day to see that.
Well, at least to see it start, right?
At least it starts. and I think if I go look, there probably are markers. I haven't really gone down to.
It is a positive go, though, isn't it?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's going to happen at some point.
Very good. All right. We got to get going because we got lots of things to talk about today. But first of all, I want to talk. I want to go over all the comments today and see who's listening. So let's just bring them up and see. And we'll see. Ed Weiss says 77 degrees, cloudy, central New Jersey. Richard Clarkson, 64 degrees now, going up to 77 later on from Southern California. James Martis, 78 degrees in sunny Cookeville, Tennessee. And Sally from Kirkland, Washington, expect rain and highs in 60s and 70s. I hope you have a great day today. Well, thank you so much. It is going to be a great day. I have a feeling that it's going to be lots of good things happening today. Steve Powell, Kirkland, Washington, 54 degrees and overcast. And a comment from Mike Ungerman. I'm lurking behind Huey today.
He must be on his phone.
Well, yeah. So I saw. I told him not to use his phone because we're going to.
He has his laptop.
He's got his laptop. I was going to say he's got to give us feedback, but anyway, there you go. Gerald Smith, West Seattle, 55 degrees, and Bernard for Sterling Heights Computer Club in Detroit, Michigan, 76 degrees. And Mike Lehman from Moncton, New Brunswick, overcast and 22, expecting some showers. Now that's 22 degrees centigrade. And expecting some showers. And Murray Strom, of course, from cool Victoria, BC. For sure, it's a little bit cool today. And G. Albert, good afternoon. Welcome, for sure.
He's a newbie.
Yes.
First time on this live stream. Well, welcome. Sorry, I don't know what your first name is, but welcome. And I don't know where you're from, but if you could put that in the chat, that's great. Thank you for coming and listening. We'll get. I hope it's a fun show for you, and you come back. That'll be great. Put in the chat what your first name is, and also to know where you're from. Yeah, that'd be fun. Bob Baxter, of course, is from Belleville, Washington, 56 degrees Fahrenheit, 66 with clouds. Gary Bowden from Victoria. Gee, Albert, Bill James, how are you with that grand piano?
Good.
Well, I wish it was mine.
He's as good as virtual music will make him.
Yeah, there you go. You can play it with
Yeah, I
virtual
wish it was
music, right?
mine. Yeah.
That's right. And
I
of
had
course,
a piano once, but not a grand. I do play. Not well, but I do play.
okay. Irving says 77 degrees Fahrenheit in Ottawa, thirsty for rain. There you go. And I'm from the great state of Ohio near Cleveland. There you go. There you go. It would be neat to know how you found out about us. If you just stumbled across you, or you got told what a great group we were. It would be fun to know how you came about us. But anyway, thanks for coming. And I think that's it for the comments now. So we're going to get on to the first. What we do in the show is that for the first 15 minutes, what we'll do is we'll talk about a few articles that I've picked out and selected for a more in-depth talk. And Jim Glass is here. He wants to learn about earbuds. Yeah, Jim doesn't often come on our Thursday show, but he's a regular on our Monday show. So welcome, Jim. And indeed, you want to listen to. We'll talk about hearing aids. So let's talk about that. And let me just bring up the articles. So this was the article that came out this week. I think it was this. Yeah, Apple's new AirPods have also hearing aids, and can they really save you thousands of dollars? Now, for those of you who know, the AirPods are, of course, these things that you put in your ears, and they have software in them. And with the recent announcement by Apple in their event we covered last week, they have applied to the FDA to have the hearing aid feature implemented in these AirPods. Now, the thing that you have to remember is that these are not just, they had to get FDA approval because these are actually commercial medical grade hearing aids. So you go through a little test, and it tests your hearing, and then once it gets an assessment, then it adjusts these somewhat for you. And it's not just an amplification of hearing. It just doesn't turn up the volume like you could do. This actually does selective noise. Well, it selectively improves your hearing. Now, part of this is a part of a larger thing that happened 2 years ago, where the FDA released. It used to be that you had to go through very stringent testing and only get hearing aids through audiologists, and there was very tight control on it. So over-the-counter hearing aids weren't available. But 2 years ago, the FDA changed those rules, and I guess we're talking mostly in the United States now. Changed the rules and allowed over-the-counter hearing aids to be sold. So then companies that you didn't have to go to an audiologist. These are hearing aids that you can purchase over the counter. They sort of do a hearing test and set it up and get it all done. So there's a whole bunch of these that have come out, and so at the Apple event this last week, they announced that this was happening. And I think as of Monday last week, or maybe it was Monday of this week, the FDA actually gave them full approval for this to happen. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. Now, during its glossy product announcement on Tuesday, Apple unveiled a new role for the latest AirPods Pro model medical device. The company said the wireless headphones will double as clinical grade over-the-counter hearing aids for those who need them. Apple announced follows FDA changes. Close to 30 million U.S. adults have some degree of hearing loss, but only about 1/5 of those seek assistance for the issue, according to the FDA. For people with untreated hearing loss, using hearing aids can reduce the rate of cognitive decline and may lower the risk of depression, according to the FDA. However, experts have said that the high cost of doctor visits and hearing aids have kept some from seeking treatment, which of course is true. Hearing aids can often range up to $6,000. So, I mean, they're very expensive. For people with untreated hearing loss, using hearing aids can reduce the rate of cognitive. Did we just talk? No. Yeah. Depression, according to the FDA. However, experts have said that the high cost of doctor visits. Oh, we talked about that. Apple's announcements come 2 years after the FDA greenlit the sale of over-the-counter hearing aids. Since then, adults with mild to moderate hearing loss have been able to buy hearing aids directly from stores or manufacturers online without the help of a doctor. And to access the new hearing aid feature, AirPods Pro 2 users will have to take a test, and that will analyze their hearing loss by playing a series of tones. So you'll go through a little test on that, and then after you take the hearing test, the AirPods Pro are transformed into personalized hearing aids, boosting specific sounds you need in real time, like parts of speech or elements within your environment. And that's I think that's, was there one more slide? Yeah, that's right. That's the last slide. Okay, so so is this a good thing? Is this a great thing or not? So before we get before we get into that, I wanted to and we'll get everybody's opinion. But before we get, I want you to do a couple of things, couple of thoughts to this. The feeling generally about this is average or less than average, because there's a couple of things that are big problems. The first being is the battery life. If you're using these, the feeling is that it's going to last. These AirPods are going to last about 6 hours, and you're going to have to charge them up. So it's not like. And one of the reasons for the high cost of other types of hearing aids is the size. In other words, they're tiny. They're really, really small. So they have to put small battery technology in there to make these very, very small. And if you look at Phonak or some of the more expensive hearing aids, they are very tiny compared to these big things that are going to dongle out your ear. That's the other issue, is these are pretty big devices that you're gonna have hanging off your ears. So I guess those two things are some thoughts for you. And of course, you need an iPhone to use them as well. So that's another thing that you do need a phone as well. So all those factors come into that. So Hugh, you got any thoughts on that?
Number one, I don't have an iPhone, so if I would consider that means a new phone besides the AirPods, and those AirPods or iPods, they're not cheap either. So by the time you finish fooling around with it, you're in the $1,000 to $1,500 range.
Right.
So it's not as cheap as the over-the-counter hearing aids. Correct. And you may have to change the ecosystem that you're using for your phone.
Correct. Bob, any thoughts?
Well, if you're already an Apple user and you have an iPhone and you have the AirPods, then yeah, that's great. But for anybody else, I'm waiting to see if they take the Pixel ones and turn those into hearing aids now, because it's only changing some software.
Right.
And I'm sure Google's not going to hold back. If Apple's doing it, Google's going to be going gung-ho to get theirs done.
Bill, any thoughts on that?
Well, I have similar thoughts that Huey and Bob have. The thing I think is good about it is that if you don't need a hearing aid all the time, and I'm sure there are people that are in that category, you already have an iPhone and you have the earbuds, then you are able to use those devices without having any additional expense to go out and buy a hearing aid.
That's right. If you have the equipment,
the equipment,
thing, right?
And you only have just a minor hearing loss that you just need them for certain situations, then that's a perfect solution.
Correct.
You do need the latest version of the AirPods.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There's an AirPod. I think it's an AirPod 2.
AirPod 2, right?
Yeah, they're all. I have a pair of. Believe it or not, I do have a pair of Apple earbuds. I'm not sure what version they are.
So that's an issue that you have to be careful of, and I can't, and I'm not sure what the AirPods 2 what it is
Well,
specific.
the newer ones are the older ones are longer. They have a longer stem.
Longer, yeah,
The newer ones are shorter.
shorter.
My
And then
my
the
wife and Huey both have the same over-the-counter hearing aids in the ear. On my wife, I can't tell when she's got it in, and the battery is 24 hours. So, you can use it all day long. You do
Right.
the charge during the night. So you're never really without the hearing aids when you need them.
Right.
That's one of the advantages. I
Right.
don't know how Huey whether he's tested his yet or put them into use.
Right.
Well, I must
And
say the earbuds have a really long battery life, and they're
But
really easy
but
to
but
charge.
Bill, the article this article talks about it and said that if you're using them for the AirPod feature for the hearing loss, about 6 hours is all you're going to get. So it's
Oh,
not going to last you. It's not going to last you all day like Bob's. Like Bob's is hands down, a better system because it's going to, you're
And it was
put them
under
in the morning.
$300. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the other thing.
yeah, exactly. So I don't. So and I think this is a fair review. It got a very average review, unless it's here. He says you actually own the technology, and then maybe that's a comment. Does Mike Ungerman have a comment on that? Does Mike have anything to say?
Not really an earbuds type of person.
Okay. All right.
I do use a headphone, and the rest of the time I really prefer listening to audio through my sound system.
I thought with all your solar knowledge, you'd be sort of thinking about a tin hat that you could wear, and it would somehow plug into these and it would give you continual solar charging of these devices in your ears. I thought you'd be thinking.
I think that's Elon Musk's new chip that we embed in here. Sends the sound right to your audio nerves.
All right. Well,
in his studio, there's a speaker up on top. There's one under me, and there's two behind me, and there's another one somewhere.
They're surrounded.
He's got a surround sound for his computer.
All right. So anyway, okay, enough said about that. Then let's move on. I wanted to move on one more article, but and this actually came out this morning, and I thought this was an interesting one. This was a Tom's Guide, and he talked about weather apps for 2024, and I thought, do you guys use weather apps? And I thought this is interesting, and so I'm going to talk about his 2 picks for weather apps. Now, one of the concerns I have about weather apps, and Bob will probably chirp in on this, is weather apps are one of the root causes of problems because there's ads like galore in weather apps, viruses. It is a total gong show out there with weather apps, right? So I was interested in this because it actually, Tom's Guide, I think, is a reasonable, review of technology, and I'm going to give you his top 2 picks now for weather apps. Let's have a look here. Let's see. The best weather apps can make you sure that you'll never get caught out in nature, whatever nature wants to throw at you. And let's go down here, and the top pick for it now. I don't know if you guys heard of this, is Carrot Weather, CARROT Weather, and it's for Android, iOS, and it's for free. And this is formerly an iOS exclusive. You couldn't get it on Android, but you can now. Carrot Weather has long since bridged the platform divide. Now the Melvin AI Overlord Carrot can bring Android users weather forecasts along with big side helping of snark and sarcastic comments. iOS users will enjoy features like being able to add a Carrot Weather widget to their lock screen. So I guess, has anyone heard of Carrot Weather?
No, I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Well, there you go. That's Tom's guide, and that was the best weather app. So I'm going to try it later on today. I'll see it. And the second one that came out, let's have a look here, was the Weather Channel. And he talked about the Weather Channel. I think we probably all use the Weather Channel at some time or other. So those were the two that he recommended. There's a bunch of other ones that are more specific to different satellite views and things like that. But those are the two. But I thought I never heard of Carrot Weather, so it might be something interesting to try.
Miss A automatically lets me know what the weather's going to be for the day in the morning. I even get an alert when rain is right around the corner. So, I don't really need anything else.
Right.
And in Windows 11, you got widgets built in that have weather as part of it. So
do we need a weather app on our phone?
Well, on mine, I just used the one that was a Google widget.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have it installed on the top of the phone. Well, you can't see it, but right now it's telling me that what the temperature is. It says there's an excessive heat warning today.
Okay.
But the thing that I wanted to just point out is that my gadget about 2 weeks ago was that weather module. And I was surprised no one made any comments about it. It was pretty expensive, but it seemed like it was a very interesting device as far as being able to predict weather. It was the I can't remember the name of it, but it was the gadget a week or two ago.
Indeed. Of course, Bill does our on Tuesday newsletter. He does our gadget of the week.
Bill, when I check out your gadget recommendation for the week, it starts at the point where the price is mentioned. and then I go further from there, depending on what that part says.
I understand.
Bill, that last popcorn bar, that was a little steep price. That was pretty expensive. But the one that has the soup that you put the bowl in for the soup, and it's got you lift it up and you take it to the microwave. It arrived yesterday and I used it. Yeah. So I got that one. So that was a good one.
Well, I bought the popcorn popper.
Oh, did you? We got to do a video about
that.
We got to do a video. Will you help? We got to do a video about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Promise me we're going to do that. We'll
get you going. Comes
today.
The popcorn came yesterday.
Okay. Because I did one on your original one, the Popco one. So I did a video about that. Remember that? I played that?
Yeah.
So we got to do a video. Okay. We got to get back to the news.
You got quite a few comments.
Yeah, we got to do that. Let's have a look here. Did we do? I think we got that. Jim Glass today without your.
That was the last one you did.
That was the last one.
Just stumbled across you guys. The title of your group, Tech for Senior. I'm interested in working with the community center and church with tech Q-tips. All right, excellent. Have you guys jumped into the wide world of AI?
Yeah, from the tip of our toes to the top of our head.
Yes.
Totally engrossed in AI.
Come and watch the Monday show. Come and watch us
on Mondays. You'll
find
out.
I do a Let's Talk AI show the fourth Friday of the month. Just send me a note at Huey.net, HEWIE at Huey.net, and I will get you on the list and send you a newsletter.
Richard Clarkson says, I now have a Galaxy S23 Ultra. It was given to you. Oh, wow. What a nice, was it your kids that gave you that? Oh my gosh. I'm going to take a screenshot of that so I can send it to my kids. Gerald Smith, what will Google come up with next? Exactly. JG, just if tried OTC, but returned several. Okay. Murray Strom, the battery life may be the killer for me. My new hearing aid, which costs nearly $6,000, the battery lasts 18 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Well, the Phonak, which is probably one of the more commonly ones that are used, that's what you pay. They're about $6,000. Mike Saunders, Chesham, UK, 23 degrees warm and sunny. Welcome, Mike, from the UK. Plus, they may not have the feature in Canada.
That's with the earpods.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't. That's a good point, Marie, to make, and thank you for making that. I know the FDA released this, so that does not necessarily mean that feature is available outside the United States. So they're going to have to get it approved in each country. So I guess it would be something that would be coming to Canada. So Marie says, I prefer my weather information from Environment Canada with no ads. Yes. Richard says, the weather apps on my Google Hub Max and my Samsung phone have no ads. That's what I said. These are lots of ads for sure. Richard Clark, the weather app on my Echo Now, a 5th, 2nd generation, is terrible. You know, that's true, because often I don't know where my wife gets the weather, but when I say, it's going to rain today, she says, no, it's not. It's going to be sunny. And it's different apps. Like how they can be so far off, I don't know. Anyway, for the live stream, what tech are you using? OBS StreamYard. We use StreamYard.
We use StreamYard on Thursdays, and we use Zoom on Mondays.
That's correct. Yes, my granddaughter sent it to me, Ron. Well, I got a screen capture of this. I'm going to send it to my kids and say, hey, good idea. All right.
My granddaughter usually waits for me to send her something.
Okay, let's get on with the news articles of the week. Let me we'll just add this to the screen. Let me just refresh this now, and we will come up.
For those of you out there, if you don't want to follow Ron's screen, go to the Facebook page on your own. You get to see it in great big readable information.
That's it.
Ron, don't forget to hit the little button to
hide the menu.
Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll do that. And we'll come down. Okay. I think, Huey, you got the first one.
Yes. I've been using Evernote for many, many years. I've done a couple of videos on it. And they were purchased by a group called, is it Breaking Spoons or Bending Spoons? And at first they didn't do a whole bunch. They fired the whole American crew. They're based in Italy, and a lot of people were very concerned they might end up going out of business. They raised their prices, but they have been doing updates on a regular just about every week. I'm getting at least a couple of updates and so on Vergecast, the rise and fall, maybe the rise of an iconic product. So it looks like they're coming back and they're doing very well. So I'm happy about that. I've got like 24,000 notes in the program. I certainly don't want to see them go away.
Geeky Gadgets.
Yeah, this is how to get your iPad ready for iPad iOS or iPad OS 18. I did the update before I saw this article, but I have already gone to the iPad OS 18 on my iPad, and so far there's not a lot to it. All the AI stuff is coming later.
So Huey, did you see? I think there's an article coming up that I published, or that I didn't publish, but I put on the for us to review. But I think it's bricking some of the iPads. I think this iOS 18 is not such a good thing for iPads. I think it's coming up. I think there's an article about that. If I'm correct.
I've not seen that. I've not had any problems.
Okay, we'll work on that.
There's a couple articles. There were pictures in it when I posted it, but the pictures didn't show up. There was one you're looking at now, The Verge. There's they sent a private people went up in an air in a spacecraft, took some pictures, and they actually did a spacewalk testing some new spacesuits, and then got back in and came back to Earth. And this article talks a little bit about that. And then the next one, which didn't have any pictures either until you click on it, but it's send Google Forms data to Sheets. So it's if you use Forms, you might want to take a look at that. If you don't use Google Forms, I highly suggest taking a look at it.
Okay.
U.S. takes aim at Shine and Temu with new import proposal. They're talking about putting quite a bit of a tax, an import tax on things you get directly from China. Right now, you get them really cheap because there's no import duty on them, and they're sending them directly from the factories in China at dirt cheap prices. And if you look at the pricing on Amazon, you look at the pricing on Temu for the same products, the difference is obviously you're not going to buy it from an American company. You're going to buy it directly from China. So it takes a couple of weeks to get here. And so
yeah, the tax it under $800 you can bring anything in. I don't understand why, but anyway, under $800 you can bring anything in to the United States tax free, and bring it in like from China. So I mean, a lot of the things that we buy are so cheap they can bring crates and I guess large containers of these in, and then they can resell them once they're in the United States. Whereas
we weren't going to talk politics.
yeah, well, so so you're right, Huey. They want to change that loophole because it gives an unfair advantage to.
And I think it was Amazon. We did an article a couple of weeks ago. I think it's Amazon's going to come out with some type of a service that's going to be very similar to Temu.
Right.
Yeah, they'll also get less than $800 directly from China.
Yeah.
Exactly. More junk. Anyway, Tom's guide. This is the article about the best weather apps for 2024. So if you wanted to deep dive into the article, you can certainly go with that. This is Android Auto is receiving an update, and this is going to include support for Bluetooth headphones, and this is being released as I speak. So if you do have Android Auto in your car, you're going to be seeing it should be upgrading, and there's some new features. So if you want to dive into this and look at those features, this is a good article.
Yeah, I talked to Drew King earlier this week. I think it's today, he's taking his car to a place that will put an Android Auto in a car that doesn't have it.
Oh, really? Is he going to have his done?
Yes, he's having it done this week.
I can feel another video from Drew.
A video or at least a discussion on it. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. Excellent. Well, that's good. That'll be interesting to know how that works out. Did you guys see this? This is really interesting. So the problem is, and this comes up with I think the next article coming up is with the bricking of, I use the term bricking. We had a comment on our show not too long ago. Someone said, what is the term brick? And Huey, do you want to tell people what bricking means?
It's a rectangular thing that's red and no, that's something else. It means that it pretty much is also another term for it is a doorstop. That whatever the piece of electronic equipment is, it no longer works, and it's just like a brick or a doorstop. You can't do anything else with it.
Right. So and that is one of the articles coming up will be with iPads and the new iOS 18, and it's bricking iPads. So then this article came out this morning. iPhone 16 firmware can be restored wirelessly from another iPhone. So if you do have your phone and it's bricked and it won't work, you can restore the operating system from another iPhone wirelessly. And I thought this is sort of cool. So anyway, if you're this was in 9 to 5 Mac, if you're interested in, that's something to keep in your back pocket if you do get I can't imagine a worse day being updating your phone and then it crashes and just doesn't work. That would just kill my day, right? That wouldn't be a fun day for me. Let's see. Now this is very interesting. Google Wallet is testing turning passports into digital IDs. Again, we keep talking about Google Wallet and digital IDs, and anyway, they're looking at passports. I thought that was interesting. I can't imagine, because of all the security features in a passport with all the stuff that's built into passports, I can't imagine them being able to reproduce that in Google Wallet. So I think you probably will always need some physical passport. Maybe I'm wrong, but at least it might be turning in. You can use it for other things. Anyway,
I did see an article this week too that here in the U.S. you're going to be soon be able to renew your passports online.
Right.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, exactly. This is an article. We've actually talked about this before. This is an older, I guess I've seen this. Google again is making it harder. Bob, do you want to tell people what side loading is? Maybe some people listening don't know it.
Side loading, in essence, it means bypassing the store where hardware, where software supposed to have been tested for security purposes. When you side load, you really don't know what you're going to get and what it's going to do to your phone. You know, the advertisement might sound like something, gee, I really want this. And once it gets on your phone, it might look good, it might smell good, but the end result is it's liable to do either brick your phone or give away all the information that's on your phone. So side loading is something you really should not be doing. It should come directly from the store.
So, and I was thinking about that this morning, and I knew we were going to talk about this article. And Bob, I have to confess, I have side loaded some apps on my phone, and I have to make a public confession about that, Bob. But you know what it was? And here's the deal. I'm sure you've probably heard of DJI. They make a lot of drones, right? But they also there's the Osmo cameras that are around, and when I tried to download the DJI app onto my phone to use some of these cameras that I have, it won't download. It's not, and I don't even think now it's on the Play Store. I don't even think if you go to DJI and you look at the software you need to run either the drones or some of the cameras, it's not on the website, and it's
the drones are on the website.
It's not on the Play Store. It's you have to go to DJI's website, and then it tells you how to side load it onto your phone.
And of course, there's no danger in that, Ron, because DJI comes directly from China.
That's what I'm thinking. This is the worst case scenario, right? Bob's going to kill me on this. But anyway, that's true, Bob.
I'm not. It's your data, not mine.
I know. But I guess the issue here is that it's not always you're downloading or using goofy apps. Some of these manufacturers just can't get their apps on the Play Store, right? So
they can't get their app on the Play Store because the Play Store finds it not to be the safest thing to install. That's why you can't get on the Play Store.
Anyway, interesting. Yeah, now here it is. Apple pulls iPad OS 18 update after bricking M4 iPad Pro devices. Oh my gosh, this is the latest. This is a lot of money you paid for this M4 iPad Pro devices, but the iPad OS 18 is bricking them. So hold off if you do have one of the later iPad Pro devices. You should hold off on doing your update. All right, just before we get into the last 15 minutes, my gosh, the time is flying. Let's just go back and see if we got any new comments here. Let's go back here and see. Here we go. I think this is the last one. Gerald Smith says Costco has lower prices for hearing aids. That's true. JJ says, thanks, Huey. Love Evernote. Murray Strom, Evernote free is of no use for me as there are only 3 devices allowed. That's why I switched to OneNote. G. Albert, I have iPad iOS 18 beta, no issues so far. Okay. I wonder if you have the M4 iPad Pro. That's the specifically what the article said. Murray Strom says, my iMac just updated to the latest iOS. Canada is planning to match the U.S. tariffs. Mike Higgins, sorry guys, I'm busy. We'll watch the show later. Yes, we record these, and we actually have probably the biggest audience is on replay. Richard says, I don't do side loading or third-party software. You know, Richard, I don't either. I mean, I never do, but I had to do it for the DJI apps. That's a for sure. Murray said, but there are some things you cannot get from the store.
Then I don't need them.
Now is this
I've never seen that name before.
No.
Yes.
And just to answer his question, that's why I said what you get from the store is supposed to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
There are things on the store, on the store, Google and Apple, that are not safe. Okay. That's why you wind up with Google and with Apple taking things down by the thousands, because they somehow make it to the store. And then it's not until after they get up there that somebody finds out something's hidden in it, and then they get taken down. But the majority of the things that are on the Play Store, whether it's Apple or Google, are safe products.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Gary says, regarding viewing data collected by Google Forms in spreadsheets, this has been available for almost a decade. You can query the spreadsheet to create apps like an accounting system I made for a nonprofit group. The treasurer wanted boxes for the software. For your interest, my 2019 iPad Pro running on M1. Yeah, so this is the iPad Pro running on M4, so that'd be a newer one. So you're probably okay. But if you have the latest, went out and you bought the latest and greatest with the M4, that's the one that's giving the problems. Is bricking a problem with iOS 18? No, not for iPhone.
No, not on the phones.
No. Oh, and Bruna said, first time here. Welcome. Let's give you a big round of applause. Thank you for coming.
It's for visiting.
Yes, and I welcome. Hopefully, come back and listen. We do the show on a weekly basis. Murray says, but the Costco ones are lower cost. Don't really compare to the better ones. Match the capability of mine, which cost a lot more than the Costco ones. Bruna says, thanks. All right, there you go. Let's get back to our articles now. Let's come down, and we're on the now. Hey, the good news is we have an Android 15 in the Android world. This is big for us, and Android 15 will be rolling out to Pixels on October 15th. So we have a date now in which it's set, and then from there it'll be rolling out to all the other manufacturers. So should be interesting. We'll just come down. This is very interesting.
Missed one of yours.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going here, I think.
Okay. I got it on mine. So.
Do you have it on yours?
Yep.
All right, I'll switch over to you, and we'll have a look at that. Oh, right. Apple approves the Apple Watch for sleep apnea detection tool. Which is interesting, and it's sort of how will I put it? The article is a good article about it because it's sort of okay, right? I mean, this is it gives you a general idea if you might have sleep apnea, and you can go into the doctor and you can have it assessed. This isn't a tool that is going to give you a proper diagnosis and mean that you definitely have sleep apnea. So don't don't look at this as a solid tool that's going to make that is actually a diagnostic tool that you can use before going to actually get a CPAP machine. Before you have that diagnosis made, you'll have to have a thorough investigation and a proper diagnosis made before moving on to a CPAP machine. But it's certainly interesting. Let's go back to me. The YouTube, this was interesting. Well, if you are a YouTube creator, there's a lot of things happening in YouTube right now with AI, and of course they're struggling with how to adapt this. But YouTube just had a big an annual event, and they talked a lot about new tools coming out that will use that for creators in YouTube that will be able to use AI to generate ideas, titles, and even full videos. So they're actually embracing this technology in a big way. I know that all of us making videos now, we're all using AI types of, components to what we do. So, and YouTube understands that, and they're trying to also give guidance so they can have a little, maybe they have a little more control if you use their tools to do it. But this is all will be coming out as I speak now. And so that's an interesting, if you are a YouTube creator, you may want to have a look at that article.
Been using something else to do all of that stuff for quite some time already.
Yeah. Like, as I said, we all do, and we all have used it for a long time. But I think YouTube is finally saying, okay, let's
They're going to add those features, I guess, to Gemini.
Yeah. Now LinkedIn training is now. Reason I put this up is because I'm really concerned about data on LinkedIn, and a lot of the problems associated with spamming and a lot of the bad things happen is they're getting data from LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is training AI models on your data. Interesting article, and I guess my feeling. I don't know what, Bob, you do a lot of work. I don't know if you have a LinkedIn account, but
Yes, I do.
Do you feel okay about having your stuff on LinkedIn, or is that okay with you? Or?
It is what it is, Ron. That's about what it comes out to. If you're going to be on the internet, you can't hide. That's what you have to realize.
Right.
If you are on the internet, someplace, somehow, somewhere, somebody is going to get your information.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's through a hack, through a leak, through just outright giving this stuff away. But if you're on the internet, you can't hide. The only way you're going to hide is never get on the internet, never use any modern convenience.
Okay. Now, this is good news and bad. Well, not good news. YouTube confirms your pause screen is now fair game for ads. So even if you pause the screen. So that brings up another thing that you may or may not know about YouTube Premium. So I've never had ads on YouTube because, of course, I've always had YouTube Premium. YouTube Premium is a service that you pay for. I don't know, what is it, you guys? Is it $12 or $13 a month? I can't remember. And you pay that for YouTube Premium feature, and you don't get ads. So if you are a heavy YouTube user, I think it's something that I couldn't live without, because I'm sort of, most of the stuff I consume is on YouTube, so it would drive me nuts. So anyway, just let you know that there is YouTube Premium and the ads go away. Have you got Huey, this one? I'll go over to you.
Which one are we looking at?
Galaxy Ring.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this was the Galaxy Ring tracks your health and style hands-on, and this is some information about it. I wanted to point out something. If you're over the age of 60 and you are thinking about buying a ring, either the Aura Ring or the Samsung Galaxy Ring, the thing that you need to understand is one of the critical things that I've always made over 20 videos about this, about health apps for your smartwatch, is that the thing you have to understand about the Ring is it does not do ongoing cardiac monitoring. It does not do the irregular heart rate notification. None of the rings do, and it doesn't do, and so it doesn't detect atrial fibrillation. And this is the absolute critical thing that you need to use these devices for. So I cannot recommend the Aura Ring or the Samsung Ring for anyone over the age of 60 that's interested in monitoring your health. So if you are thinking that you're going to get a ring over a watch, don't do it. There's lots of reasons that you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, a reminder for some, and a notice for those new people that are on today. Ron is a retired physician, so his input is invaluable.
All right, thanks, Huey. Apple is monetarily no longer number. I guess they're choose over to me. Apple is no longer second biggest smartphone maker. It is, of course, Xiaomi. So they up and down and go back and forth all the time. But again, I thought that was interesting. For those of you who are following, maybe you have Direct Dish or Direct TV. Again, both these companies are not doing very well. They've lost over 17 million subscribers, and they're trying to merge their two services. So don't know what's going to happen with this. I don't think any of us, none of you guys have Dish or Direct TV, do you? No, I don't. I think it's pretty much sort of anyway. This was Spectrum unveils the $30 internet plan.
Oh, you missed one.
You missed one.
Did I miss one?
Yep.
Go to
Most CEOs expect workers to be back in the office.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Yeah, go to mine.
All right, I'll go to this. This was interesting. So most CEOs expect workers to be back in the office 5 days a week in a few years. So in other words, they asked 5 top CEOs and they and asked their opinion, and they all thought this. And this, of course, is not a happy experience for many people, because they argue that they go back to the office, there's nobody there, and what do? They sit and they're on a Zoom meeting all day, but except they had to travel 30 miles to get to a bare office where they're going to connect to a Zoom and do the same thing they did at home. So there's a lot of unhappy workers that really are going to be.
Once all the workers are back in the office, the collaboration is a whole lot better than it is if they're working from home.
Yes.
Yeah, was it Amazon, I think, this week?
Yes.
Put out a notice that their people have to come back to the office. I think it's 3 days, at least 3 days a week.
Yeah.
But the good thing, at Tech for Senior, we will not. We will let you still continue work from home. You don't have to come to the office.
Get together.
And then
We have our own offices at home.
And Ron and I have never met.
no, we've never met.
It's your turn, Ron. Come down to Florida for winter, and you'll have a studio ready for you.
All right. So Spectrum unveils $30 internet plan, bold new customer commitment with Life Unlimited platform. So one of the things that we all talk about at Tech for Senior is please review your plans. You should be reviewing them every 6 months or even earlier, because you'll get there are some great deals going on, and we need to you need to keep updated.
I figured out a way Spectrum could save thousands of dollars. Stop sending out all the ads in U.S. postal ads. I get at least 3 a week from Spectrum to get me to change over to either Spectrum TV or Spectrum phones or what the this $30 internet plan is. You got to have 2 phones as well as the internet in order to get that rate.
That was my question. Is that what's the deal with that?
Yeah, you have to sign up your phones to Spectrum as well.
But anyway, but there are so many. I mean, because of the shakeup with the with the home internet through 5G. A lot of things changing in the home internet market, and so you need to look, compare. I made a switch this year from cable, being a cable company customer for 30 years, right? And I just keep paying the bills. And I thought finally there was $120 a difference a month for my fiber. When I switched to fiber, it saved me $120 a month. Well, that's a little. You add that up over a year, that's well over $1,000 for the same service. So you gotta keep comparing and keep looking at it, because it does change. Let's see, we got some final comments before we have to go. Murray says, the things I've found useful, not only the store simply don't have enough potential users as they are very specialized. Free open source software is sometimes not funded sufficiently to warrant the cost of effort on the part of volunteers to go through with the store hoops. Okay. And the Apple Sleep app doesn't really accurately tell how long you have slept, because if you are laying awake and not moving, I think it will think you are asleep. All right. And Richard Clarkman says, no Aura ring, no wedding ring, and no wedding ring.
Oh gosh.
And Murray says, I used to have a Shaw Direct satellite and liked it a lot better than cable, but cannot have a dish where I live now. Yeah, the cable company, Shaw, had a satellite for Canadian content, and we used to, in the early stages when we had our RV and I traveled around the United States, we had it on the top of our fifth wheel, and we would travel around. But then they banned it from broadcasting in the United States, right? Because of licensing agreements. So then I became a professional satellite hacker, and all the campgrounds I went to, I was able to hack it back in. And so I was a very popular guy for a while, but that technology is 10 years old. That all happened a long time ago. I'm not sure what we do now. And for me, fiber is not available, and my free cellular service, there isn't a cheaper service. Okay, you know what? I think it is top of the hour.
It's past it.
Past it. I told you guys, we've got to, let me just get rid of this. We have to do this for 2 hours. Where's Mike? Mike, do you think we should do this for 2 hours?
Well, just, do like a break at 45 minutes.
So listen, Mike,
thank
you for coming today, Mike. I want to thank you so much, and thank you for letting Huey stay at your house and helping him get set up so we could be on the show today. We were having a lot of stress, anxiety about him maybe not getting plugged in and organized, because he's sort of a key part of our show. So thanks so much for looking after him.
Well, as you know, Leo Laporte used to have an audience when he would do his podcast.
That's right.
Now
Yeah.
he's operating out of his house. So
well,
we're breaking this in now. You guys should need to bring your neighbors in and your friends in, and we'll all.
So Mike, could you go around the street you live on and maybe grab some people up?
There you go.
And have them in your studio, and then we'll link you in, and we'll have a studio audience each week. Do you think that might work?
There you go.
Anyway, we hope to have you back and see you soon. And thank you, Bill, for coming. Bill, it's always a pleasure to
enjoy it.
And of course, we'll see you again on Monday. Bob and Huey, thanks so much for your coming along today. And we'll see you, of course, next week and of course, sooner. All right, everyone. And thank you for coming to listen. We do appreciate, we do understand your time is valuable. Hopefully you've learned something today. We're going to do it all again in 1 week's time. Have a great day. And don't forget, come and see us on Monday. Bye now.
Bye.